I get questions all the time about getting started, so I want to take a few minutes and talk about how easy it is to get started in this word of mouth marketing business model that I love so much. My name is Kristian Hoenicke. I saw this whole word of mouth marketing concept for the first time 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago, actually. I was 19 years old. I was a second year law student out of California, and I saw this idea that offered, or it promised, it talked a lot about leverage and residual income. I love both of those things. I love mobility, flexibility, and freedom. I'm recording today from my office in Maui, Hawaii, and I'm not going to beat you up or throw my lifestyle in your face. I'll just simply say that we get to do what we want to do. We don't ask permission from anybody for anything, and we haven't in years. And it's because of decisions I've made along the way that bolstered my leverage and my residual. So is getting started worth it? Absolutely. If you like the idea of freedom, flexibility, mobility, options, if that sounds good to you, now hopefully you're not hopefully you're not having images in your head of 10,000 square foot beach mansions and a fleet of Lamborghinis. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about private jets. I'm not talking about getting rich. You can do that. If you're super ambitious and you're ready to really put in the blood, sweat, and tears, you can do that. I have friends that have done that. I think most of us are less interested in getting rich, and we're more interested in improving our day-to-day quality of life and that of our families. That is pretty straightforward. Getting started is very simple. So let me give it to you really, really simply. You take something that you love or that you are introduced to that you might like. Let's start it that way. You look at something, you look at a product or a line of products, a service, something along these lines where the company, the owners, the manufacturing company says, hey, we'll pay you to refer customers to us. And that's basically what all this stuff is. Basically, we will pay you to spread the word, basically is what this is. So what if you found something you really, really liked, a product, a service, a brand, whatever it is, and you said, okay, I love it. I'm going to start yapping about it. That's what it takes to get started. Try whatever it is. And then if you like it, dive in, start telling people. What we offer, the crew, the group of people that I work with, we're from all over the world. We have a lot of fun. We have a pretty well-organized group. We have a very simple process that we teach. There is just one or two skill sets. Let me say this, one or two skills, not even a skill set, just a couple simple things we can teach you in a matter of literally 10 to 15 minutes. You would need to practice. You need to actually take action and practice those a few times to start to get good. But it's very simple things. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need a real nice computer. You don't need a fancy phone. I'm trying to think of what you might need. You don't need anything. You don't need much of anything. If your mouth works, you're in business. So you take something relevant, you take something that you like, you take a process, you learn a skill or a couple of skills, and then it's simply a matter of, are you willing to do the work? Are you ready to put in the time? I was just talking to one of my friends about a week ago, and he's very, very much an outsider to my world. Total outsider. He wakes up and goes to work every single day. He actually really enjoys his job. He installs home theater setups for people, and he really enjoys his work. He makes okay money. I think by most people's standards, he makes okay money, a livable wage. He works long hours in the holiday, any kind of holiday season. The summer, his schedule tends to be lighter. So he's looking kind of from his vantage point where his life is extremely routine. He could tell me right now what he's going to be doing a year from now, give or take. Their life is very planned. They're not spontaneous. And he likes his life. He likes his work. He likes his life. He likes his coworkers. So it's great. I don't have a problem with any of that. But, he sees what my family and I get to do, and the decisions we get to make, and the way we get to live. So he pokes his head into my world one day about a week ago and said, "So, what does it really take?" I said, "Well, gonna have to talk to people. Gonna have to, the whole thing is that you spread the word. That means you talking to your friends about something that you like, about something that you think is cool, about something that you think would really help them, or something along those lines." And he's like, "I don't know. I really don't. I'm kind of a recluse. I'm good at my work, and I come home and I'm with my family." So I broke it down to him this one. I'll leave you on this note. I said, "Well, with the kind of work that I do, with the process that we teach, let me just talk to you about what 20 hours worth of work probably looks like. I've been doing this a long time. I've got a pretty good handle on what this looks like. 20 hours worth of work in my world. Here's what this looks like. Let me work the math backwards. That, if you're doing what we're recommending you do, which isn't jumping through flaming hoops, it's not, going to school for 2 years. Everything about this 20 hours worth of work I could teach you in less than an hour. And then it's just you putting in the 20 hours. Okay, you with me? So 20 hours of work in my world when you're just getting started is worth anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 typically. $1,500 to $3,000. So I challenged my friend. I love him and his family, and I would love to get to hang out with them. I would love it if they could just wake up tomorrow and go, "You know what, we're going to Maui to hang out with Kristian and his family." I want more friends like that, not less. It's part of the reason I do videos like this. So in your world, what do you make when you go work, do whatever work you're doing for 20 hours? The second question is, do you gain any leverage or residual income for that 20 hours you spent? Because the next step, and what I think is way more exciting than the $1,500 to $3,000 you'd earn in that 20 work hours with me or one of my friends, whoever referred you to this video, I work with a bunch of people, is the recurring effect. And the recurring effect, we're talking anywhere from, on the low end, a few $100s, on the higher end, $650. Let's just mid-range, call it $450 a month. So you put in 20 hours of work, and you've just gotten started. You don't know anything about anything. I'm just assuming you don't know anything about anything. You're a total outsider to our world. But you're willing to learn, and you're willing to put in the work. So you make that $1,500 to $3,000 your first month. The second month rolls around, and because of the work you did last month, you've got a check coming in the mail on the 15th of the month. And it's going to be $300, $400, $500, $600. Maybe $700. Maybe $750. These things tend to grow, actually. And then think about the leverage. You now have your own little army. Some of these people that you've told are having a great experience, and they're excited, and they would love to go grab, $1,500, a couple grand, $3,000 as the holidays get close, or as summer gets close, or whatever it is, whatever time of life we're in, whatever season of life we're in. So I think it's a lot of fun. If you've never poked your head in and taken a hard look, I'd encourage you to do what my buddy did last week. It doesn't obligate you to anything. It just gives you a little more awareness of what we do and what the work looks like, how it feels. And, then you're informed. You can make a decision from there. All right, so I hope that helps. Hope that demystifies some of this stuff that we do. And I'd love to see you in the community. I'd love to help you out personally. So get back to the person that shared the video with you, and we'll go from there.